it's like finally winter weather.
Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, we got to see a really good movie today.
Yeah, like
this is Coco. This is Pixar's latest. I'm happy to say it's a pretty damn good Pixar movie. Thank fucking God.
Yeah.
Because I love Pixar for an early age, but they've been doing that thing recently where I can't really tell what movie's going to be good or not.
Cars 3.
Yeah, like
you know what? They have to have the shitty sequel money to fund like the good like we
can do original ideas now. Or we can afford original ideas.
Yeah, we can afford someone to help us with our, because they had like a little preview trailer. Or when they were talking about the 10,000 lights just for the City of the Dead, and I was
like that reminds me. Before we really get into, do we want to talk about the movie first or the 20-minute Frozen masturbation that we got?
Let's just get it over with.
Because I have a feeling that's really gonna want to hear first off, because it's not getting good.
All right,
it's not getting good feedback. My favorite tweet I saw about this was a guy going, "My 8-year-old nephew, after it was over, leans over me and goes, 'Nobody asked for that.'"
Okay.
And after sitting through 20 agonizing fucking minutes of this, I could safely agree. Yeah, who the fuck wanted this?
I mean, they could have just like put it with like a shittier sequel, but I think they were counting on Coco being like good enough that it could like hard carry the short.
This feels like it should have been a 20-minute pilot of a TV show on Disney.
It probably is.
I feel like this one might have been like
coming soon, Frozen, the TV show.
It's like when they used to pawn off like whatever dumb spin-off series they were trying, like Hercules.
Oh yeah. They did Xena off of Hercules, and they did like
what else was there? There's some really shitty ones for.
They did Flash off of Green Arrow or Arrow.
No, I'm talking about strictly Disney.
I'm just saying, like, yeah. Like,
but that's different. I'm talking strictly Disney here. Because there was a while they were trying to make like shows off of every one of their movies. Like, there was Lilo and Stitch. There was...
the Aladdin show.
There's Timon and Pumbaa. and they tried to do the same thing with Atlantis, but it didn't work out.
Atlantis? Oh yeah, it did. I think it was canceled pretty quickly.
No, like they put it as like a straight to DVD, like straight to VHS movie.
Really?
And it wasn't very good, or no straight DVD. But
anyway, so let's just get over with this fucking short.
Okay, so
the best joke in there is basically when Olaf, and I'm actually surprised that it came from him, basically went up to Anna and was like, "You're a princess, you don't have to settle."
Yeah, like that was
That's
like one
literally the best
joke in the fucking thing. This is like the 5th time this year if I look at the camera and go, "Fuck you, Josh Gad! I am so sick of your bullshit." You people trying to jam Josh Gad down my throat.
He's fantastically gay.
Dude, it's 2008. It's 2017.
That's all. Yeah, I know.
Come on.
All right.
Are we really going with the gay jokes?
No.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, he's like Disney appropriate.
Fuck. This feels like, okay, I like Frozen. I like the film. It's a good movie. When
The shitstorm afterward was not so fun.
No, not like the hype kind of kills it a little bit, but like when you actually break it down as a movie, it's pretty damn good. Like it subverts cliches. It kind of breaks new ground. It does all kind of innovative things for like the Disney princess genre. And then you got these cynical ass fucking shorts, because there was this one and this one that you can tell are just there so they can sell more Frozen shit. Like, buy the soundtrack to Olaf, Frozen Adventure, now available at your local Disney store.
I mean, I felt like that's what this basically was.
This is 100% cynical.
No, this is basically was like, okay, well, here's the short, and now you could buy the $28 CD for like 5 songs.
It's like that
are all Christmas related.
And let's just bring like Frozen splooge over for 20 fucking self-indulgent minutes of bullshit.
You know the only way they could make that CD worse is if they included Disney characters singing the 12 Nights of Christmas song.
Disney's had to have done that at some point. Okay,
they have.
There's no way they haven't.
But I'm just saying, if they also included that, because I hate that song. Especially because there's a very specific reason why I've heard this song, and I'll tell you about it later. Okay. But the worst part is in a very specific Taiwanese hotel. That song plays, and the worst part is when Donald Duck sings, call that names!
I could just picture, like, it sounds quite pleasant. This movie, this, I was like Donald Ducking through most of this short. I'm not gonna lie. We're just kind of like.
No, you were pretty fuming.
Especially when it got to the Olaf song, which goes on for like 4 minutes of problems that are not fucking problems at all. Like, oh no, Anna and Elsa don't have a Christmas tradition. We need to go out and find one. This feels like a cynical fucking short. Like,
honestly,
let's take everything that was smart about the film and just condense it to all the stupid shit.
Honestly, at one point, when Olaf went into the sauna and melted, they should have just left him there. Inside the sauna. Eternally liquid.
I wanted to end with like a slow zoom in shot of Olaf who just froze to death like Jack Nicholson in The Shining, where it's just him like this.
After he's like failed, right?
He's failed, he has given himself to just dying slowly and painfully. So it just closes in that shot of just him like just that's it, and scene right there. That would have been great. Obviously not gonna happen, but no, you gotta make room for more like, oh, Olaf. This is the Cars 2 of Disney shorts. And like, hey, you know that.
I'm gonna talk about Cars 2.
I will fucking talk about Cars 2, because you know what? Fuck that movie. It does the same exact fucking thing, where it's like, hey, you know that character that was kind of endearing in short doses, but you know what would really annoying if you gave him much more screen time? Let's make him the star of this particular sequel. I'm sure it won't get annoying in any way, shape, or form.
And you know what? Like, is it really a problem that they didn't have Christmas traditions? They own a country.
Like, I was saying, like, get them fucking Monopoly. I don't know.
Get Jenga and get like competitive the way that me and my friends do, where we're like start cursing at each other.
Just like get just a bottle of whiskey and just chug that down from the fireplace and throw the bottle. Elsa can try to shoot it with her ice ray shit.
Oh my god, that would actually be an amazing Christmas tradition.
Right?
It's
not hard to make one.
Anna just gets like constantly shit faced off of like, I don't know, whatever, PG-13. What's that shit called? The eggnog. just eggnog, and she's just like, I'm done.
Pew, 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 pew.
Oh shit, it took me 4 tries.
Honestly, I might split this video into 2 halves just because like once this is gonna be on Olaf's stupid fuck off adventure and one's actually gonna be about Coco.
No, we got it. It's all part of the movie. We got.
I'll put a timestamp on the description. Like, here's when the actual review for Coco starts. If you want to skip all of this.
Yeah, and fuck, just.
Because like, okay, now we have to break. If it was just a short 5 minutes short, we could just like, oh, it was tolerable and move on. But it's just 20 fucking minutes of self-indulgent Disney splooge.
Honestly, I was sort of done after the 3rd song. I was
done when I read that it was 20 minutes long. I was like, fuck.
I read on Facebook that it's 20 minutes long, and I was like, you know what? Whatever.
I was much more like, oh, God.
How many songs can they possibly fit in 20 minutes? 5 is the answer.
And they're all pretty bad. Well, no, they're pretty bad. It's like, no, maybe not. No, it's self-indulgent, buy our CD, Christmassy bullshit.
So, no, you want to feel, here's how you can feel worse. Those were the 5 songs on the CD, but we have 5 more bonus tracks, only exclusive to the CD, so that your kids can sing along. We'll even give you the lyrics.
Oh God, it's like that. Have you ever seen that photo of
marketing
of like the Frozen recorder? You know, it's like annoying little flutes they give you. It's just someone on Tumblr grabbed that picture. It's like, do you know somebody that has kids? Do you hate this person? Get him the Frozen recorder complete with the sing-along track.
Oh my god. Yeah. See, this is why I'm just gonna get my kids into anime and just like.
See, you say that, my dad tried the same thing with sports and airplanes, and that did not pan out. So your kids are gonna like whatever they fucking like.
Hopefully.
You can pray to God. or pray to whatever you believe in. But
hopefully not Frozen at the very least.
I would say, how long can the Frozen craze possibly last? But it's been like, what, 3 years?
You know what? I believe in 30 years there'll be something worse.
Hakuna Matata 2. Oh, Christ almighty. So,
all right.
No,
we get that all out?
No, they're still like, okay.
All right, go on.
It's, I gotta break it down because this piece of shit was just so obnoxious. It's because again, it's one of those Disney episodes on a TV show where it's like, this is not a real fucking problem. Because the whole thing is about like, we said it was Christmas feast and Olaf is being Olaf, and it was like, oh, you, and that's stupid. Like,
did I do that?
Did I?
Oh, that's insulting to Steve Urkel.
Okay, to be fair, it's hard to top Steve Urkel as far as annoying is.
Yeah, but like, it's endearing when he does it.
Is it?
Would you prefer if Olaf?
Maybe.
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, and it's just, you can tell right off the bat, it's like, oh, it's gonna be that kind of Disney special where there's no brain here, there's no effort. It's like,
I actually felt like they made the songs first, and then they're like, oh shit, we need a plot.
Yeah, pretty much. And the whole thing's like, oh, but the rain, because apparently. Okay, so the whole thing is like, there's a tradition in town where you gotta ring like a Yuletide bell. Once the bell is run, then everyone the season is here, and they prepare the surprise Christmas feast for all the people of the town. And what does everyone do as soon as the bell's like, fuck free food that are made by like 5-star chefs and probably the best food in the entire town. Nah, we get knit fucking socks, you know?
No, it's like instead of like humoring your ice queen of potential death, right? Because you already know she's not gonna do shit to you.
You're single living mutant in all of the land.
Okay, you're single Omega level mutant.
Yeah.
You're not gonna humor that. You're not gonna go in and like get a cup of coffee really fast, or have a bit of the multi-layered donut or whatever.
It's a feast of fucking for free.
I mean, did they put out flyers?
Your tradition can wait a few hours. But no, you got knit fucking socks. I'm pretty sure you could appreciate a plate of food much more.
I mean, it's sort of a dick move on the townspeople too.
Fuck you.
No, it's like if I was Elsa, right, Queen of Arendelle, right, and I'm thinking like, man, I should at least put out some fucking flyers, right, or like little snow mutant powered things would that like come to me. It's like, oh, by the way, come on down to the castle and eat food with us. I'm gonna melt now.
Genocide of mass proportions.
No, it's like a Mr. Meeseeks, you know, it does its purpose and then it dies.
God, I love that crossover. Oh, that's kind of the same principle. I'm Mr. Olaf, look at me.
Okay. That was unintentionally amazing.
Oh, God, it's still the same fucking principle. That's what's really depressing.
Oh, he'll never... his purpose is to live forever.
Oh. This is hard on me, too, audience. Olafs don't usually last this long.
How did that line go? Olafs are not meant to seek purpose. Olaf's time just serve one purpose, and then we die, Jerry.
Christ almighty. Someone make that picture, please. What if Mr. Meeseeks and Olaf had just an awful human, just awful mutant baby?
No, it's like a Olaf. It's like a Mr. Olaf box, right?
Oh, fuck.
And then like you pop it, and it's like, oh, what do you want? You know, it's like, I want you to improve my golf game by 2 strokes. And then suddenly it's like an army of death Olafs.
Oh God. Fuck.
Yeah, we really could make a whole video about this.
You probably could, but I'm not gonna do it right now. Well, obviously not. But, yeah. So Olaf's like, that's so... And then, like, no, Anna and Elsa have this big thing, like, we don't have a Christmas tradition, then fucking make one!
I know, right? How's this the problem? You own a country. Like, what? At what point can you be like, hey, so as you're, like, omnipotent death ruler of ice, could you just come in and have a fucking piece of cake? That's your new tradition.
Bitches.
I'll also lower taxes because I raised my voice. Just for the month.
That probably get me to go and like, fuck cheaper taxes, yeah.
Cheaper taxes, free food. I don't, like, you know, you couldn't, like, use your...
It's a win-win.
You couldn't, like, say something. It's the holidays. In Norway, apparently.
Olaf's like, I'm gonna go to each one of their houses and find their Christmas tradition. I don't know why I'm doing this voice, but
it's a more bearable voice.
Now, to be fair, in like,
Hearts. I know it's hilarious.
Pure of hearts. I would love it if those fucking unicorns showed up, just to go. Nay! I want to watch an episode now.
Especially to Olaf. It's like, you are not pure of heart. Oh, Gravity Falls.
Also, Disney, they could do it.
They totally could. They do own that property. That would be a way better movie.
I would love it if Bill Cipher just came out of nowhere and just fucked shit up.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
One of these days, it's like, why aren't you just making your own damn traditions?
But no, so there's a big long song sequence with him going through every single house and, oh, look at all these traditions. There's this, it's just a long series of stupid jokes and an awful song.
I don't even remember the song.
I remember that you and I were just simulating ways to murder ourselves while it was playing.
Oh, no. We were playing Suicide Charade. Suicide is a very serious topic. We take it very seriously.
But yeah, Suicide Charade, that's what we call it, apparently.
Yeah. So, like, Mike did the news, I did poisoning, and I think I did death by bathtub.
Yeah, death by bathtub.
You know,
and don't forget the drug overdose.
Drug overdose.
Mostly because, like, it was
gun in the mouth.
the classic.
Yeah.
Because it was, like, the only thing to do to pass fucking time. While you're waiting for this awful song to end. And
then there's, like, still, like, 3 more.
Yeah, and there's still 3 more. And wacky shenanigans happen, all the stuff blows up, quite literally.
I actually enjoyed the sleigh full of traditions catching on fire and then exploding. That actually, like, created some enjoyment for me.
A little bit, yeah.
Because it's like, you failed. Now give up. Return to the oblivion of nothingness where you belong.
Please. Well, at least until Frozen 2 comes out. I feel like they put more effort into the movie.
What could they possibly do? What, they, like, introduce, like, a fire king that can't get along with Elsa? Oh, God. I want royalties.
It's not a hard idea to come up with.
His name is El Fuego.
Either that or he runs into the fucking island from Moana.
Oh. That ended up being a lady.
Well, yeah, I know that. I've seen the movie.
Well, that's true. You know what? Progressive. Possible.
Yeah, I don't know. They pushed out with the Beauty and the Beast remake.
Whatever.
So I was promised gay pornography and straight up hedonism, and I got a hug.
Oh, yeah, that is what happened.
I was promised sodomy of the highest order, and I got nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Anyway.
So, yeah. Anyway, after the sled burns down, you know, like, I thought the new tradition that they were going to make in the end was, like, every year we'll just have Olaf hide in the forest, and then the first person that finds him gets to hang out with his son at a castle, which solves that problem.
Just make him the new Nepter.
It's like old Family Guy where you had to, like, tackle the greasy dude.
Oh, God. I feel like it's more horrifying, though.
I know, but it's Olaf, so it's like, you know, he's not
it's
good.
Cute if it's a snowman.
It's cute when it's a snowman, and he's, like, trying to hide in the forest. But, I mean, in a way, Olaf was still the tradition, so it's like, it's fine.
Yeah, and that stupid fucking twist thing where it's like, again, why couldn't you guys just play fucking Jenga?
Yeah, like, have you played Jenga with me?
I don't think I've played with you. I've played recently, but...
Okay, well, you know,
You're a fucking ice queen. You can do whatever. You can make whatever you want.
Ice Jenga. That would have been awesome.
Like, you can literally make whatever you fucking want using ice. Why can't you think of something creative for yourself to do?
Or like ice guests, you know, so the food doesn't kind of go to waste.
You can make an in-castle snow fight. There's like so much shit you can do.
Yeah, you can clean it up, kind of.
You can just move the shit on, just make an ice rink or some shit.
She does on a daily basis. Never mind.
I mean, saying you could figure something out. You don't need to go through you don't have to send Josh Gad on some shenanigans trip.
Yeah.
With the fucking reindeer.
Wait, so the 3 years between was only like 6 months for them?
Maybe? I don't
Because
know.
the first Frozen movie was summer is gone, right?
Well, we don't know how long, like how
But it's their first Christmas.
true. Oh, that would be 6 months, huh?
About 6 months.
Huh.
Yeah.
I just know it's like, oh,
It took
look,
them 3 years to do 6 months.
I just know it's like, how many ways can we cram in some kind of doll or musical thing into this? Because like, oh look, Elsa's got a new dress. So does Anna. We can sell those in your local Target. Oh look, the reindeer looks like Olaf now. You can buy that too.
Oh, that poor reindeer.
This just struck me as like, this was such a cynical Disney short.
I mean, they might as well just been like partnered with Hasbro.
I mean, it's like when that other Frozen short, which is like a merciful only like 5 minutes long, but that was like a case where like they gave Elsa a new dress for that one too, and guess what went on sale that week?
Hey man, right in time for Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's convenient fucking timing.
Anyway,
All right, so,
we good?
I think I'm good.
All right.
All right, so
All right, and-
Coco.
Clip.
Clip right here. Means I would actually watch the video and find
Bumper.
out when exactly we stopped talking about
There's
this.
no timer on the camera. Okay.
No, there's not. I'll figure
All right.
I'll figure it out.
All right, so now we can finally talk about Coco.
Yeah, Coco, great movie.
Loved it.
It's a great movie.
Wonderful visuals. Really great music. I enjoyed it.
I thought the music was great too. Characters are great. The story is really good.
I had like a little bit of issue with oh shit, what was his name? The kid.
Miguel.
I had a little bit of issue with like Miguel like being a little bit selfish about, you know, like going back to the land of the living, but we'll get to that in a bit.
I don't know. I got where he was coming from.
I got where he was
because I was more pissed off at the family than I was the kid.
There's a difference for me, Dan. I guess we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But TLDR, family is the most important thing.
When your family's not being a dickhole.
Family is so important when they realize, oh, right, this kid's like super musical.
And like, I will say, like, you're having issue with Miguel. I was like, fuck the grandma in this fucking movie.
Which one?
The one that was like basically controlled the entire family.
Oh yeah,
like the mafia boss of the family.
You know the funny thing?
That was the one character like, fuck you.
You know the funny thing is that like there's this thing where at least with my grandparents, right, where like you try and tell your grandparents that you're not hungry anymore, and then they're like, what do you mean you're not hungry?
Oh, yeah. Like, that was funny.
That was the first thing that happened in the movie. It's like, Miguel's like, oh, I don't want to eat more tamales. And it's like, you don't want to eat more tamales? Are you sure these are tamales? So you really want to say, yes? That's what I thought. And she just stacks like 5 more tamales on the kid's plate. I'm like, wow. Those are my grandparents. And probably everybody else's.
All right, so just a brief summary of the plot without giving too much away. At least not right away. This movie is about a kid named Miguel. Apparently, way before he was born, he had these like great grandparents. One was a musician. One was a mother, I guess, at the time.
Well, basically, they do it in like the preface of the movie as it's opening up, and it's like the story of how their family came to be, which is like great grandpappy was like, I'm gonna go follow my musical dreams, and then great grandma was like, we have a kid to feed. Which is a reasonable like decision, right? Mm-hmm. But and then what happened is great grandpa never came back, and then great grandma was like, well, fuck music.
Yeah, pretty much like forbids music from anyone in their family,
and passes it down over like at least 5 generations.
Yeah, and they decide like, no, we're gonna be shoemakers now. And like, you know, on one hand, good progressive for women in the fact that she was a single mom, she made her own business, and she made it thrive. Good for her.
For at least 5 generations.
For at least 5 generations. You know, good for her as far as that goes. Her one caveat apparently is no one in the family is ever allowed to play music ever again.
Ever again.
Which is a little cruel, in my opinion, and quite frankly, pretty unrealistic.
I mean, like, you know, I'm not just. It's impossible.
Yeah, it is literally impossible. So
wait, that means like for 5 generations, there are 5 generations of children, including Miguel, whose parents didn't sing nursery rhymes to their babies.
Oh man, that's gonna have like, stop crying, stop crying, stop crying, stop crying. That was the closest thing they got to a lullaby.
No, Grandma would be like, I lift the ban. I lift the ban.
Go to bed. I don't know.
No. She had to have lifted the ban for when a child was born, so that way, like, maybe some people could get some goddamn sleep.
No, I mean, she probably should hit with the shoe though, which he wielded like a samurai warrior.
I don't know. That was more ninja shoe.
Fair enough. Whatever you want to call it. But either way,
no.
really.
Desperado.
Desperado. There you go.
There we go.
It's that's culture relevant. I like that.
Culturally relevant.
No, this was a great love letter to Mexican music and the Mexican culture in general, which I really loved. And the nice thing, I like that they actually, we didn't see it in Spanish, obviously, but I like that they released it in Spanish. Because there's like...
there's a Spanish...
Oh, yeah, there's 100% Spanish theatrical release.
Because, like, half of the songs are in Spanish anyway. It wouldn't be, like, that much of an adjustment.
Yeah, but it's nice that they actually took that in consideration for American audiences for a change. And there's even, like, one that has, like, Spanish subtitles, if you can't make one of those screenings. So there's actually, like, a lot of different screens in this one. I'd be careful which one I picked. Otherwise, you're like, we have no clue what any of them are saying. At least I don't, because I only know, like, 5 words in Spanish.
You know, if I can like listen to Spanish, and a lot of Spanish words are so very similar to English that like I can like contextually guess what's happening based on the screen. And the only reason that I can say this is that I had a moment where I was like watching Spanish soap operas with somebody once because they were really into it, and I just wanted to like grab lunch or something, but then I like got into it too. I'm like,
of course you did.
Hey, you know what? I really wanted to know why there was a shark in the lake. That's another story.
I kind of there was a shark in the lake
in the soap opera. Yeah,
I kind of want to watch this too now.
Yeah, there was a that's
did they jump the shark? That's what I need to know.
No,
did they jump the shark?
No, it was clearly a lake because I had to ask. Wait, is this the ocean? It's like, no, this is a lake. And then he's like, wait, so there's a shark? There's a sea animal in a freshwater lake. It's not Salt Lake City, this ain't Utah or something? No, it was a shark in a freshwater lake. So that was what like got me down to start watching it, and then we got lunch after that episode.
Okay. Well, anyway, so
the shark was put in there by the evil millionaire of the lake.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Super deep stuff, right?
Oh my god.
Anyway.
By the way, there's some weird milestones in this movie for an animated movie that I was kind of surprised to see. First off, they used the word murdered a lot of times, which I'm not going to give away the context of that yet, but like, I don't think I've ever heard that in an animated like Disney movie before.
I mean, they straight up... Our generation straight up watched Mufasa get murdered.
But like they never actually... Oh, I take back. They do call him murder in that. I take that back.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
They do.
Yeah. At the end.
Yeah, at the very end. I take that back.
Lion King.
Never mind. But I do think it's the first time I saw anyone drink whiskey or tequila.
That was clearly tequila.
Like tequila in a Disney movie before. I was like, all right, that's kind of aggressive.
Well, I think that's just cultural because like I don't exactly know how the Day of the Dead works, but definitely tequila is involved.
I guess it kind of have to be in some respects.
Like, at that point, it's like... I mean, they already, like, did the kid-appropriate joke at one point. And her knuckles, that's not how the song goes. There's children around.
Wait, how does the actual song go?
Nipples.
Oh, okay. I've never heard it.
No. I could tell from the context that's what they were glancing over at. Anyway, we'll get to that in a bit.
All right. So anyway, the story is...
It's not a real song. I don't think so. I hope if it is...
No, I think it actually is a real song.
Okay, well, clearly it's not supposed to be singing about how her beautiful whatever, and then goes straight from her her face to her knuckles.
Yeah, I can see
how
that.
the song goes.
Now, I will say this isn't the funniest Pixar movie. I will say that much.
No, it's more character driven. It's
No, which I prefer, honestly.
Yeah, it's fine.
And most of it's like in physical comedy, which is fine, but like it is all about skeletons, so there's a lot of been there, done that kind of feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the strength comes in the characters and how they interact with each other and the dialogue and all that's great.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Miguel is the outcast of the family. Ooh, Disney movie, an outcast. Who would have thought? But who loves music, but like enjoys it in secret and secretly worships one of the greatest musician of all time, Ernesto de la Cruz, which I only remember because they say it like 1,000 times in the movie.
I mean, to be fair, he was a really awesome guy prior to things.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So one day he decides that but again, his family's so, especially the grandma, so hardcore against music that he's even
she
close.
like smashed his guitar in front
Which
of
is
him.
a dick move.
Like he made that guitar out of literal nails and screws.
I will. Another milestone. I give credit. First character I've seen on screen with what is clearly dementia.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Grandma Coco.
Grandma Coco, who the movie is named after, so we have to bring her up at some point.
And it's so glanced over that she's such an important plot point later.
Yeah.
Like the very first thing that happens is like, oh well, there's great grandma, and then it's great great grandma, and then it's great grandma Coco, and they like glance over that really quickly.
Yeah, the took a while. I was like, oh wait, Coco, that's where the name comes from.
No, I figured it out.
I did too.
As soon as
but it took a while.
as soon as the other parts of the family wait, I'm like, wait, is that Grandma Coco?
Yeah, but like the grandma clearly is the ringleader for his entire family.
Yeah,
everyone else just kind of seems going along with whatever she says.
Yeah, man, matriarchy.
Clearly, and like
that's normal.
I believe it, but it's one of those things. Like I was thinking of like, I get her motivations behind all this, but fuck that grandma, man.
To be fair, this is her mindset comes from great great grandma who couldn't exactly get great grandma Coco to forget about music, but she could assimilate the thought into grandma and parent and everybody after that.
Yeah, and like one of those, for me it was like when she smashed the because eventually what happens is
they find out that he wants to be a musician, and then there's the big no,
we can't let you do it,
coming out of the musical closet metaphor.
And we've seen this before in Disney movies, like Little Mermaid did this kind of thing.
It's like, I'm your parent, like, I know what's best for you. And it's like, no, you don't. I will have my dream, and I need to chase after my dream. And it's like, your dream is a curse, a literal curse, and it's bad. It's literally bad for you. We really don't want you to be a musician. And you know what? In today, that's probably true.
Well, I'm not going there. But yeah, so long story short, he runs off, tried to do this like talent competition, but he doesn't have a guitar because the guitar was smashed. So he realizes that he believes his grandfather was the great Ernesto de la Cruz because his guitar was in the picture, like an old family picture where the head was ripped off because they family believed he left them all time ago.
Yeah, so it's like.
So he breaks into a crib.
He breaks into the mausoleum of Ernesto de la Cruz, which I have to say it like that now.
And steals the guitar on the Day of the Dead and plays it, which apparently causes you to be like the dead spirits who walk the earth.
Well, no, it's supposed to punish him for stealing from the dead.
Yeah.
That's why he ended up being in the land of the dead. It's like, oh, you want to steal from the dead? You can be dead.
Yeah, pretty much. So he ends up in the spirit world, basically, and that's when the movie kind of picks up. Because let's get up to that point, but yeah, like the styles and the designs and the colors in we are so fucking good. Especially both our favorite character in the movie,
Death Puma.
Death Puma. Because apparently there's
Is it a puma or a jaguar?
I was thinking more jaguar. We can call it Death Puma.
It just rolls off like Death Jaguar. Maybe, I don't know. Death Puma.
Death Puma. I like Death Puma.
Death Puma. Anyway.
But yeah, because he's just in this this land of the dead.
So when you die, you get like a spirit animal, and they are like neon party colors, and they like have wings and stuff and fire breath, and and it's not even like the big ones that have fire breath. Like there was like a little monkey, rainbow, not even a neon colored little monkey spirit animal, and it's like, oh yeah, they have great powers. And the first thing I said was like, Death Puma has laser eyes.
No, you were suspecting going, oh. Like, I want one so badly.
No, my actual honest reaction was, if the little monkey has fire breath, what does Death Puma have?
Yeah, so like, when he goes to the land of the dead, he runs into his extended family, including like his great-great-grandmother and all that stuff. And the great-great-grandmother has her own spirit animal, was this gigantic
Death Puma.
Death Puma, which is like this brightly green and black puma-looking thing with
neon green, yellow, pink, and I think there was like a little blue,
which is great design.
It's a really cool thing
with like this like minotaur.
No,
wings
it had no blue. It had the blue.
Blue breath. Yeah.
It had the blue breath, which was able to track him. Anyway,
and like these like goat horns and shit.
Yeah, and
like
it was
a
giant
mixture of like a
wings.
puma and a minotaur.
It's like they took a puma, increased it tenfold in size, gave it wings and horns, and then it's like, you know what? Yeah, it's not cool enough. We'll give it more powers.
So,
Death Puma.
So when he runs into the family, they realize the family very quickly realizes what's been going on, and they go run to like the Department of Lost and Found, I guess.
I was just basically saying like death immigration.
Death immigration, yeah, kinda. I can see that. And
I mean, they even had Death Border Patrol,
which is great. What a great idea.
I mean,
not Border Patrol necessarily, but you know, like the concept. There are in-world concept.
There are jokes that can be said, but I cannot say them.
Please don't.
I'm not.
I don't want this to be flagged by somebody. You racist bastards.
We're all thanking him.
You are, you racist bastard.
I'm sorry, I live in Trump's America.
Don't blame Trump for this, you racist bastard.
Anyway, so yeah, they have Death Border Patrol with like death,
departure and arrival. You have to declare stuff.
Yeah, like, I guess it's more like a death like a train station, maybe.
Yeah.
No, it's more like a
international airport.
Yeah, it's, you know, you get like your passport, and the way that you're allowed to like leave the land of the dead, it is
somebody has to have a picture.
Someone has to have a picture of you on their family shrine, which is because I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try either.
So yet, someone has to have a picture of you, the dead person, on their family shrine on the Day of the Dead, and then they like do like facial scan recognition, and it's like, oh yeah, your family totally loves you. You can go.
Yeah,
and they're even nice about it. But if you don't, then they're like, well, no one loves you enough to put your family up. Sorry, man.
Which is horrible.
Which is like kind of terrifying.
Yeah, I know. It's like that's a dark fucking thought.
Like, and then even like the police inside of the land of the dead is like, well, I want to punish you, but like I want to go see my family, dude.
So quit being a dick and
like quit being an asshole and just take the warning, please.
So yeah, it
is a cool world. I love the world.
No, it's a beautiful.
That's
world.
a Kingdom Hearts world. Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yes.
In like 50 years.
That'd be amazing. I'd actually be down for that.
And then Sora's all like, anyway.
That'd be great. That'd actually be a great idea. Like
royalties.
Death Jaguar can be like your companion.
Death Puma. That's how you travel around. Or he's a
summon. He's a summon.
And then like grandma, all the grandparents are there too.
But anyway, so apparently to get Miguel back to the real world, they have to give the family has to give a blessing, which they do like in the petals that are everywhere.
The fallen petals from flowers, and they basically be like, hey, so yeah, I give you my blessing because you were cursed because you decided to steal from the dead, which is an asshole thing to do in all cultures.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Grave robbing is bad.
We strongly speak out against grave robbing.
Unless they have really cool stuff. They're not gonna use it. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I don't want to be associated with this.
I'm totally kidding. Don't do it.
So the only way to like be not cursed and stuck in as a living person in the land of the dead is for your family to be like, yeah, I mean, he fucked up, but it's not that bad. He only stole from the dead.
But the family can place conditions on your return.
Which is like, by the way, you can go back, but no music ever. And if you're getting music, you're back to the land of the dead, which is exactly what he does.
Yeah.
He re-steals the guitar, which I think is the bigger issue.
Well, if at first you don't succeed,
No,
rob again.
That's my problem. Like, that's my problem. He steals the guitar again.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, if he, like, at least woke up and be like, all right, Dad, don't steal from the dead. I learned a lesson, right?
I mean, like...
But, you know, then the transition...
I mean, he has an arc. He gets better by the time the movie's over.
Don't steal from the dead. It's fucked up. Can't stress that enough.
Well, maybe in your cult. I'm kidding. Every culture, it's bad. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just in general, just don't do it. So he decides to fuck that. He flees away from his family, runs into Hector, who is basically the closest, like, a homeless bum that wants to...
That has no family, because he's how we learn about the whole Border Patrol thing.
Yeah. And the majority of the movie is about... And I don't want to give much beyond this, because, you know, it's a really good movie. I want you to go see it.
So this is no spoilers? Okay.
At least for a while.
All right.
And so the majority of the movie is about Miguel and Hector and their journey together and kind of how they learn off each other.
And then how his journey, his growth as, like, a person and as a rising musician and, like, you know.
And they have great chemistry. Like, these are really good characters.
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun to watch work off each other.
I'm walking like a skeleton. Nobody walks like that. You're walking like that. Shut up.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
And the music is great, and even the musical sequences are so imaginative, and
it really works well with the world. The world is so cool. I love it.
They definitely take advantage of the dayless. I can never say it.
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead motif and everything stylized like that. So every time there's a musical number, there's usually like some great outlandish choreography to go along with it. And it's great.
Did you notice, by the way, when they were in Ernesto's house and the DJ, his
sliders, whatever you call them,
his DJ board or whatever it's called, I forgot. It was a skull.
I didn't. That one I missed. I caught a lot of like the skulls.
Well, I mean, it's the Land of the Dead, so like everything's skull motif. But I thought that was cute.
Yeah,
the little spinners with the eyes, and then the teeth were the sliders in the middle.
All right, that's clever. I'll give it credit. I missed that one. But no, that was cute. So like, yeah, like there is a twist. You caught it before I did, and then that like a line follows shortly thereafter. Like, okay, yeah, that's definitely what it is.
I mean, as soon as I basically like, it wasn't immediately as Hector showed up, but I was like, after a while when he like connected to Hector, I'm like, oh, okay, I figured it out.
Yeah, so like. Okay, so this is probably where we can talk about spoilers. So if you don't want anything spoiled, go see it. It's a great movie. Pixar did it again. Better than Cars 3.
By long shot. I mean, they had to fund this movie somehow, right?
I mean, like, really the only original Pixar movie that wasn't at least good was probably Brave.
I just think Brave was subpar.
It wasn't
okay,
bad. It wasn't great.
It wasn't par for them.
No, yeah. It was definitely up to their standards. This feels much more up to their standards. And it is better than The Good Dinosaur, I'll say that too. Okay. Brave and The Good Dinosaur.
Fuck The Good Dinosaur.
I thought it was fine. I didn't hate it, but I
have my feelings about that. We'll talk about it one day.
One day. I thought it was fine for what it was.
But all right, spoiler town.
Okay, so yeah, it turns out that Hector is the real grandfather.
Great-grandfather. Great-great-grandfather, whatever.
Of Miguel and
Ernesto de la Cruz is actually the guy who murdered Hector for his songs.
Yes.
Which is this extreme extra dick thing to do because he did it when the body wasn't even cold.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, he literally poisoned his supposed best friend, stole his songs, and is like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave you in the street, dude. Did
he leave him in the street? We don't see what happens afterwards.
No, he totally left his body in the street. That guy was cold.
Huh.
No, because it's right it's right when Ernest goes solo. That's when he breaks big, and these are all my songs, right?
Oh yeah.
So, but like, what happened to poor? He's just some mariachi that just died in the street. That's like, I mean, I'm not saying that's how it is. I'm just saying that like, it's probably what they thought. It's like, oh yeah, he just got drunk and died. Because like, if they had forensics in that time zone, they could be like, yeah, there's alcohol in his body.
Yeah, this is true, but it's also like poison.
Which there's a whole reveal about that with like the movie that Ernesto made about how he sends poison in the tequila shot.
That's your first mistake.
I mean, like, no,
that's like Michael. Like that's like. Oh, what's the name?
That's like beyond like making it obvious. It's like attempting to confess because I guess they're Catholic.
What's the name of the famous guy who murdered his wife and got away with it?
OJ?
OJ. That was like when OJ made a book saying, if I did it, this is how I would have done it.
I have no strong opinions about that.
That's something he actually did, isn't it?
The book?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I just go with what Dave Chappelle says. Where he's like, man, that guy totally murdered his wife.
It's a similar concept. It was like, I'm not saying I have poisoned somebody, but here it is in the movie.
If I was gonna poison somebody, I would use this exact line that I used on my best friend when I killed him.
Just drawn from real events, man. That's what all great artists do.
That's how I act, bro. Anyway, so the lesson with that is don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, and I had a feeling some twist is gonna happen with the main.
Once I figured out that Hector was great grandpappy, I was like, man, that means Ernest is the asshole.
Yeah, and like I had a feeling something along those lines was gonna happen. Part of me was kind of hoping that it just turned out that he's just a good guy that just I don't know, just kind of separate.
Oh yeah, but then there's like no real then Hector as a conflict doesn't like make sense.
That's true. It's like I was like, there were some movies like, did this movie really need a villain? Kind of like I felt the same way about Up.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of like I felt like I could have done this without a villain, but at the same time, it wasn't a awful villain by any stretch of the imagination. He served his purpose well.
I think like the only other way they could have done that, right? Because the moment the thing that sealed it for me, right, is that if Ernest when he finally meets Miguel, right, it's like I have a great grandson. Yeah, I have a great grandson. Like if you were genuinely concerned about your family, you wouldn't like show him off, right?
I don't know if you're a big time showman. I can totally see you doing that.
I don't know.
You got time?
No, but like the way his actual family like treated him is like, no, you're going back.
Yeah.
No, like there are severe consequences if you stay here. Like we don't want you dead quite yet.
To be fair, as far as that goes, one, he made clear he didn't even know he had one, so he's probably just excited for that fact. And two, when he shows like, no, I gotta get back. See this shit? It's like, oh yeah, I gotta get you back. Like he immediately snaps back to, oh yeah, this is bad. All right.
Yeah, I guess.
So like,
but I was like, you know, like if you really cared about him, like you would like make a quick toast at the party in front of everybody, and just sort of be like, let's go deal with this really fast and get back to the party, right? Because then you can still be famous and whatnot, and then not whatever. But then there's no conflict.
Yeah. And I feel like I kind of what I thought was gonna happen was like he was gonna do the blessing. It wasn't gonna work because he's not actually related.
I was thinking that too.
And then I thought it was gonna happen. And like I was kind of imagining they could have had like because they were bonding pretty well. I was like I thought they could have had much more like. On a kind of remorse on his end that he didn't have a great grandson. I think they could have played that. I think that could have conflict come in.
I knew that Hector was the great grandfather, but like I was wondering how Ernest was gonna fit in. I was thinking he was either the antagonist in the end, or he was gonna just be like the helpful, like, famous guy that just shows up once in a while. But then I was like, wait, but then Hector's conflict doesn't make sense at all.
I don't know, I think you could have made that work. You could have had, like, Ernesto kind of look back on his life and realize that, I missed the important things.
Oh, yeah, there's no family. Okay, yeah, I guess there could have been some kind of
So there could have been, like, at least you could have added more drama as far as that goes.
That's true.
Without necessarily needing, like, a big action-y climax.
Yeah. But like, the whole point of the movie was that, like, family matters. And so, like, Miguel's conflict with his dead family still needed to be resolved, right? Because then like, if he just took the easy way out and got, like, Hector or Ernest's blessing, and either one of those worked, he doesn't really learn the lesson about the importance of family. So, like,
actually, you totally could make that work though, because again, it's like the rising star who, like, oh, I did all these, like, it's kind of, granted, it's something we've seen before too, where it's like, oh, I did all these things, but I never had a family, I never had time for this or that because I was always focused on my career or that kind of thing. You could have gone that route too. Now, granted, we've seen that a lot, so, like, I guess you're kind of screwed either way.
The first thing I would have been like, do you even know my, like, if, like, I mean...
But you could have tied that in great, honestly.
I would have been like, do you even know my great-grandma Coco? Start from there.
Yeah, and honestly, you could have made that work. Because, again, kind of back to just ignoring what's really important. Instead of focusing on a big musical career, it just turns into, like, oh, I should have made more time for my family, and I don't have anything left. I have my adoring fans, but I don't have any real connection.
I guess.
It's kind of like that BoJack Horseman scene where it's like, everybody loves you, but nobody likes you.
Oh, yeah, that could have been it.
Yeah, so you could have gone from that angle.
Wait, so we could have had...
BoJack Horseman to Pixar.
Ernest de la Cruz Horseman.
Ernesto de la Horseman.
Ernesto de la Cruz Horseman.
No, just cut out the Cruz and make it.
Boom, boom.
So, like, you could have done that, but to be fair, it would have been a very different movie at that point.
I think.
So, like, I'm not saying it's bad the way they did it. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like you could have done more with it.
I personally liked. I personally liked it because I already saw that what was gonna happen with Hector. I was like, they have to have this bond. The chemistry has to be good, and then, like, there has to be, like, a real sense of, like, danger for both Hector and Miguel.
Yeah, that's, like, true too.
Hector's existence is on the line, right? So like, it does make that, like, kind of, like, bittersweet, like, thing at the end.
I mean, like, you still could have done, and also, like, kind of expanding this idea a bit more is, like, you could have still kept what we just talked about in there and still make, like, Ernesto the villain, because, like, no, I want my own grandson now, and then he tries to keep him.
Oh yeah, that'd be way more fucked up.
Yeah, and he tries to keep him in there because he was like, I want my own grandson now. You're gonna keep it here forever, and then they have to rescue him. That could have worked too.
That could have been okay. Yeah, that's an alternate endings, alternate conflict paths.
It's like,
but we're not writers.
To me, that would have been a little more interesting. But like, what? Again, the way they did was fine.
I liked it just fine because otherwise you don't get Death Puma at the end. Like, this is fucking up Ernesto.
And like, it's definitely still a very fun sequence with, like,
Death Puma,
with the more Death Puma, and kind of like the family reuniting, and Hector kind of realizing his place in the family, or like the family accepting him again, even though. And one thing I did like about that is that they do very much like, I'm gonna help you, but that doesn't mean I forgive you, which is pretty realistic as far as I'm concerned.
They get over it after a year.
But like, well enough apparently, but I still kind of like that. Like, okay, I don't.
It's not my fault. Like, there's got to be some moment after the end, at some time between the end of the movie and the epilogue, where it's like, look, baby, like, it's not my fault I got murdered. It's like, well, you should have said so.
Yes.
How was I supposed to know I got murdered? Yes. The family actually exposes Ernesto to all of the land of the dead, right?
Yeah.
On live camera,
where he just straight up tries to murder a child,
a living child too. Yeah. So it's like even the dead people are like, whoa, that's like extra fucked up. He's not even dead.
Yeah, just threw him off a cliff.
And then so hold up. So this character I actually think is pretty evil because he attempts actual murder and then attempts super murder on Hector.
I know, the character from Up just tried to shoot a kid.
That's pretty fucked up. But no, I'm
With
trying
the fucking rifle, too. And
but I'm trying to say it's like, because like the way that their world works is that if someone doesn't put up, if someone forgets you in the land of the living, you like cease to exist, which is where we're finally talking about that joke later. Because and that's the whole conflict with Hector, is that he needs Miguel to go back to the land of the living to put the photo on the shrine so that Hector can continue to exist in some form, right? So ideally he would go and see his daughter Coco, which is how we finally get the reveal.
Yeah. And it's a good scene.
It's a great scene, but I was getting
you get the tear
but see, Ernesto tries to literally throws a kid off of a building on live camera, and then because the kid is the only way for Hector to get back into permanent existence, that's attempted super murder.
Yeah, I can see that. And it does, like, to be fair, all this route does lead to some genuinely very heartfelt moments too.
Yeah.
Again, like the actual scene with Coco later on, where she like has her moment of clarity.
Yeah.
Which clinically has happened in case like Alzheimer's or dementia. That has been known to happen.
Yeah.
If you get the right trigger. So like that was a very touching scene, and again you kind of know where it's going. Like, is the family gonna accept Miguel for his musical talents? Probably. That doesn't make it any less poignant when it does happen. Like, you're still rooting pretty much for these characters.
I mean, you're still rooting for him, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, I could see it coming. You know?
Yeah, it's still very touching. Like, it didn't make me cry like Inside Out made me cry.
So the joke is that Hector has to get a guitar.
Oh, yeah, okay,
so that Miguel can play on the talent show in the land of the dead. And so it's like, well, I'll give you the guitar, but you got to sing me my favorite song. And the song he's singing is about like this woman or something, and it's like, oh, her face is so beautiful or ugly, I can't remember.
Yeah.
You know, her eyebrows were such a way, and then he adjusts the song so it's like, and her knuckles were white and hard, and the guy the guy that's like requested the song's like, that's not how the song goes, and Hector's just like, there's children present. Or there are children present, which is clearly, man, her nipples.
It's like, and do you feel like for a character that was only on screen for about 5 minutes, he left an impact.
Yeah,
because
his super death meant a lot.
Yeah, like because he's the first one you see disappear permanently because people don't remember him anymore. Super death. What do you want to call it? And
we have Death Puma, and we have Super Death.
A lot of death. Well, yeah,
the whole
I was
movie.
gonna say, yeah. And then so he kind of
Mufasa's there, bro.
Oh, that's why Mufasa shows up. It was the Day of the Dead.
No, dude, Death Puma
He was visiting his familia.
No, Death Puma is Mufasa.
Oh my god. Get James Earl Jones to voice that Puma. But anyway, so
yeah, that's the bulk of the movie.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, like the character that died.
Yeah, the guy
again,
in
like
the hammock.
Yeah, the guy in the hammock, and they're very briefly. You can tell he's like he knows he's gonna die.
Super die.
That's what he wants him to sing the song. It's like kind of like one last lane before I die, pretty much.
And then you can have this guitar.
Yep. And then then the character just slowly just disappears. Aaron looks very somber. Like it feels like a funeral, legitimately. Because even like Toast and like takes a shot of tequila as a remembrance.
Yeah.
So like it was a very well done scene, very tasteful scene.
How do they play trumpets without lips?
It's like the same reason that it's like, how do you have allergy? The dog has no hair and I have no nose, but here we are. So
you know what? That works for me.
I think that was like that way of saying like, don't fucking worry about it.
Don't fucking worry. Gloss over it.
It is the way it is. Don't fucking worry about it. So yeah, like it's Pixar in top form, and it's like it's got a good story. It's really fun. It's got great characters. It's got touching moments. It's not as good like Inside Out or anything like that, but it's still pretty damn good.
Bing bong.
See, Bing Bong is not the one that made me cry.
Really? That was so fucked up for me.
Like, for me, there were two moments in the movie that got me, and it's never Bing Bong's death.
I mean, Bing Bong was kind of annoying, but
I was like, oh, that's sad, but it wasn't like tearjerker sad for me anyway. We can talk about that later, but
we'll talk about that later.
Inside Out is probably one of my favorite Pixar movies. And that movie didn't have a villain. If you notice, I was like, the only Pixar movie does not have a villain in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't need one.
Well, no, the antagonist is
reality. Reality is the antagonist of Inside Out.
I was just gonna say time. Time was the factor.
Technically, you can make that argument, but you're like, no, like, I will stop you, Joy.
It's a movie about intangible thoughts, and like there has to be an intangible antagonist. Never mind.
You can make that argument as well, but you know, the point remains: there's no like active muhaha twirling his evil mustache.
There's no Maleficent.
Yeah, exactly. None of that. So like. This one was like, okay, those are pretty sweet. And it's very, I do recommend this movie.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of mariachi music too.
Yeah, I'm not actually big into mariachi music, but I did really like the music here.
I'll send you some songs.
Okay. If you really want me to.
Gotta open up that musical stuff.
Oh no, I've listened to quite a few. I used to go to this event in Gilroy called Bach de Blues, and had like all kinds of like different variations of music in there, including mariachi music, stuff like that.
All right.
And not to mention, one of my best friends is Portuguese, so I feel like Portuguese music is very different. Not necessarily mariachi music; they're very different genres, but still, like, if you're going for cultural expansion here.
All right, fine, whatever. All I heard was like, look, I have friends that are black.
No, my point there was that he's dragged me some Portuguese festivals where I was very much exposed to the culture there.
All right.
That was my point.
Getting a little slighted.
It's not the first time I've been called racist. Muha does it just for shits and giggles.
Anyway.
So yeah, trailers. We got A Wrinkle in Time. This is the first time you saw this trailer.
Yeah, it was the first time I saw it. I didn't, Oprah and her magnificence.
Oh.
Yeah.
I am Oprah.
Actual goddess Oprah. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was like. Oprah is transcending.
Yeah.
Kneel before me, I am Oprah.
Sorry, I was thinking about this.
Everyone look under your knees, you get a free car!
I was thinking about the South Park episode about Oprah now.
Stay with me, Minch. Tell me about the beach, Gary. Do we make it to Paris? Anyway, so we got Wrinkle in Time. Then we got the Incredibles 2 teaser.
I'm very excited. The Incredibles is actually my favorite Pixar movie.
That's a good choice.
Well, I love it because like content is great, story was great, and I love big band.
Big band
music.
Oh right, yeah.
I love big band music, so like I was down for it. They brought it back for the teaser. I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna change anything, but I hope there's some new shit music wise, because the Incredibles soundtrack.
Oh, there's gotta be.
The Incredibles soundtrack is my favorite.
For me, I'm excited for it, but honestly, I'm a little disappointed with the route they're going with the story, in that it's literally a direct sequel from takes place right after the first one ends, which to me is kind of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, they did like 5 years later.
I want them to do like a Toy Story 3 route, where like, let's have them grow up. Just like treat them as adults. You can make Jack the villain. That'd be interesting.
He has always cared about Dash and Violet.
I mean, he's like an omnipotent super baby at this point. He has like all the powers.
That's true.
You can make that a really good bad guy.
Yeah, I was always just living under your shadow, Dad.
Something like that. You can make that work.
Hey, I'll pitch it.
Yeah.
What's next?
Then we got
nothing.
Contrito.
Okay, well, I'm glad they're at least putting it in Spanish. I said it last time. It's basically like, as long as they don't leap it.
It's hammer time. It's gonna end on the Space Needle. Why not?
I don't fucking know anymore. Put him on the Freedom Tower.
Yes. It's gonna end on the Washington Monument.
So just making sure he is not a condor. That's a sponsor that's trying to like get you to buy Doritos, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't know. Apparently, I'm guessing he's big in Mexico. I don't know.
His Dorito and Condor are literally in his name.
Yeah, it looks like we were probably not going to see if I had to take an educated guess, unless there's like a high demand for it, but I kind of doubt it. And we got like
make a comment that says Mike C. Condorito, and then we'll go watch it.
If you guys will make a donation, I'll do it. I've done more for less. Then we got Ferdinand and Paddington 2, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
Sherlock Gnome.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I hate that movie already.
Oh, you don't want to go see it?
I'm not. No, I'm passing that one off on the mat.
You say that now.
I'm hard passing that one on the mat.
I don't know, man.
I would rather watch Duck Duck Goose than that movie. In fact,
that can be arranged.
In fact, I might even do a pre-bad movie dib.
Just to get out of scene.
I would hard. I will say it on recorded camera. I would rather see Duck Duck Goose over Sherlock Gnome.
I don't know. I think
Matt, you can have that one.
I think I can do better. I'll see what bad movies are coming out between this and Sherlock Gnomes, and we can work out a deal, man. We can work out a deal.
I'm not gonna watch Sherlock Gnomes.
Okay, then we'll figure something out. Let me get Duck Duck Goose. What's the last trailer? Before the 20-minute Frozen Splooge Fest.
Was that the last trailer?
That was the last trailer.
Oh,
yeah.
God. I just felt like we were in the theater so long between the previews and the Frozen short.
The fucking Frozen short. So, yeah, that was the last trailer. So, you got any final thoughts for Coco?
Don't meet your heroes.
Be nice to your family unless your families are dicks. Then fuck that family. Not actually, that's weird.
That's a little weird.
Do. Anyway.
Alright.
Family's important unless you're on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, then you just blowed them up, apparently.
And actually fuck them.
Ooh.
Good night, everybody. Shit. Oh, shit.